We are now turning to the topic of immigration. Cities around the country have faced difficulties managing an influx of migrants. Mayor Craig, when asked if you would welcome migrants to New Hampshire as governor, you said this. I'm going to quote you back to yourself here. Quote, "I would work with the federal government to ensure that they understand what's happening in our state." So we'd like to clarify your position on this tonight. As governor, would you welcome large numbers of migrants to this state? Why or why not?
No, I wouldn't, because that would be irresponsible. We have a housing crisis in our state right now, and we don't have the supports necessary. You know, I want to confirm with what I've said in the past, New Hampshire is not a sanctuary state. It would not be a sanctuary state when I'm governor. But I do agree that local communities should have the authority to put policies in place to make sure that their communities are safe. And I think it's really important to note that we had a solution to all of this with a bipartisan border security bill that would have funded 1,500 border security agents, would have protected our borders, would have provided a way for individuals to become citizens, and it would have stopped fentanyl from coming into our communities. You know, Kelly Ayotte caved to Donald Trump and didn't support this bill, and she likes using this as a talking point instead of focusing on a solution. I am focused on solutions, making sure we are doing everything we can to support New Hampshire families and lifting them up.
Senator, 30 seconds to respond.
Well, first of all, she supports sanctuary cities. She went up to the legislature and testified against the ban in our state. Second of all, she spends all her time campaigning with Maura Healey, the governor of Massachusetts. They've spent $1 billion housing illegal immigrants in Massachusetts. So is that where she's going to get her policy guidance? Because that would not be good for New Hampshire. Finally, I was a very bipartisan senator. I actually worked across the aisle on these issues on immigration when I was in the United States Senate to secure our border and to make sure we strengthen our legal immigration system.
Mayor, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Sure, we had a solution. Kelly Ayotte didn't support it, and now she's using this as a talking point. She mentioned that I went to Concord. She's right. I went to Concord with my police chief. We advocated together to ensure that our community was safe and that we ensured that we had trust within our community, which is so important when it comes to public safety. And regarding Governor Healey, this is just a way for Kelly Ayotte to defer from her record because she can't stand behind it. Again, we had a solution in place, and she caved to Donald Trump instead of making sure that New Hampshire was safe.
Senator Ayotte, you mentioned the border. The state attorney general's office organized a special task force to patrol the northern border here in New Hampshire.
Yes.
The state said that it produced some intelligence information. We got some numbers from the first 7 months. Data shows task force members have made a total of 16 arrests for crimes like DUI and driving with a suspended license, and that Customs and Border Protection made 7 reports total about suspicious activity. So given your concern about law enforcement vacancies in the Granite State, is this the best use of our limited resources?
Steve, I was actually in Pittsburgh yesterday up at the border. I was not only there with the sheriff, I've spoken to the Coos County commissioners, with local law enforcement. I was actually there with a member of the Border Patrol. They caught someone yesterday coming over. And in fact, I asked him about these patrols and how helpful they were. He said they were very helpful because there's deterrence. And in fact, there were fewer people coming over in New Hampshire. But he stressed with me that he couldn't believe the dramatic increase over that sector, the Swanton sector that includes New Hampshire. And so making sure that we are supporting our law enforcement up there with those resources is critical to protecting New Hampshire. We also need to enhance their communication systems. That's happening so that they can communicate with each other and also federal law enforcement to protect each other. But literally, I was there yesterday and they think it's valuable. And I really trust the people on the ground in the North Country, those that work this issue every day, and the Border Patrol that are actually on the border up there.